welcome back to my garden. It is feeling like fall here in Zone 9B in South Louisiana, and I am so ready. My body is ready. My hair is ready. I'm ready. Bring on the fall weather. Bring on the cool breeze. I was watching a video of someone in like Zone 3 in Canada, and she had like a sweater and a beanie on, and I was so jealous. So I'm glad that we're starting to feel a little bit cooler here, and I don't have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn or wait to do the garden tours in the evening. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys what the garden looks like in August since we didn't see it last month, and I wanted to give you guys a glimpse of what it's looking like before we transition over to the fall crops, which I will show you inside towards the end of this video. So there's not a whole lot going on because you guys know I took a lot of stuff out to prepare for summer because I was not trying to be outside. But I do want to show you guys what we do have. There are a few really cool things to check out. So let's hop in and take a look. So first things first, since we are standing right here, I have to show you guys my beautiful beauty berry. She's so gorgeous. She's putting on all these purple berries for the birds to enjoy. So you can make beauty berry jam out of this, but I would not make it out of this one specifically because it's so close to the road and this is like a high traffic road. I believe you can take the stems for bouquets, but I don't know how. I read somewhere that the berries will start to fall off, so I'm not really sure about that, but I do want to cut some to bring them inside and then I'll be able to report back. I've also read that you can use the leaves as a mosquito repellent. I haven't done that yet, but that is definitely on my to try list and I will report back on that as well. So walking back this way, you can kind of see our like hidden secret garden. It's not hidden, it's not secret, but it is just like really nice to like have this like beautiful foliage alongside the sidewalk. So if you've been here before, you know that I garden on a strip and also with some beds on the side of the house, and just trying to make use of all the spaces around because I have such a small space to garden. Like I don't have a backyard. I have this street space and then I have my back patio, which I'll also show you. But this is kind of how I maximize everything. So over on the health strip, I have been trying to plant annuals in here as well, but I've kind of decided this year that I want to just plant perennials. So I've been planting a lot of rose bushes, a lot of native plants, and things that I can just kind of set and forget. I will leave some space for annuals, but those spaces will be few and far between, especially because I have the farm. It is just a lot of maintenance to try to keep up with, especially because I'm not going to run irrigation on the health strip side either, because I don't want anything kind of going across the sidewalk, and I definitely don't want to dig under the sidewalk. So I really just want something that is very low maintenance. So over here, I have my native button bush. In the middle of these two plants, I have a night blooming jasmine, which smells so good. I haven't been outside at night to actually smell it, but it is just so gorgeous to smell at night when you're like walking into the house. And then I have my pineapple guava, which is getting really, really tall. I bought this plant when it was like this big, maybe 3 years ago. And now it is just so tall, and I think it's gonna grow taller, and it's really nice to like have that kind of shade and privacy, especially in an urban environment. When you're sitting on the porch, it just provides some screening and also a little bit of noise dampening. Over here we have a bunch of bananas. We haven't ever gotten any fruit off of these plants, but they are just so beautiful, and again provide that like screening and privacy. We have some native plants over here. This is what is it? Rattlesnake Master. I love this plant, and so do the pollinators. You see we have a bee kind of floating around right now. I think it heard me and it left, but we see bees on these all the time. Down here, I think these are some form of like black-eyed Susan. I never see bees on here, so I don't know if there's something like, if they're like a weird hybrid that doesn't make it easy for them to pollinate them or, you know, eat from them. But I might take these out. Well, they're really beautiful and prolific, so I don't know if I'll take them out, but I may be thinking about that next year. This way, these are our raised beds that we have along the house. These beds are where we grow a lot of our food. I had tomatoes in here earlier this year, which you can see in a past video. But right now I have beans, and I have this massive pepper. Like, look at how huge this pepper is. So this is a datil pepper, D-A-T-I-L, and it is loaded in fruits and flowers. I was like, we had a lot of rain earlier this year, so I kind of had gotten used to not watering, but then we stopped getting rain. We would get these like little showers that would just kind of wet the top of the soil, but not really drench it. And so I think it was struggling a little bit with trying to produce fruit. There were a lot of flowers, but no fruit, and it was being pollinated. So anyway, I started watering, and now I'm starting to see a lot of fruit on here, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna leave all of my peppers in until the peppers and the beans until the inside starts to ready. So the fall things, until they're ready to come outside. So we got about a month or so, and the temperatures will stay nice for them to be able to produce. So lots of peppers on here. They're kind of small right now, but they're growing. And then you can see all the flowers that we're getting on here also. Look how massive this is. This is the biggest pepper I've ever grown. It looks like a little shrub. But yeah, you can see all the fruit and flowers on here. In the rest of the bed, I have a little mammoth basil on here that is being shaded out, so it's kind of scraggly. Over here we have a little bell pepper. Oh, we have a little fruit on it. So we have a little bell pepper fruit here, but I fear that this is also being shaded out, so I don't know how well it's going to do ultimately. Because we also have another huge pepper plant over here, which is an ají dulce. And you can see this one also has a ton of fruit on it as well. It's not as like bushy, but I think that's just maybe the habitat, but it is just as prolific. So we have a lot of fruit on here, and they're just gonna get bigger. In the back I have some beans. I don't remember what kind they are, but if you go back to the video where I planted the beans, that information is in there. It is growing all crazy everywhere. I don't see any beans on these ones yet. I have had issues with grasshoppers eating them, but I do see little, like maybe these are gonna be flowers in here. So hopefully we'll start getting some beans soon. Either way, y'all got about a month to get it together. Over here, we have some beans again. Same thing with the grasshopper issue. I just got a few of them off of here. Oh, I hate grasshoppers. Anyway, lots of foliage, but not a lot of beans on here just yet. But I do see some pollinators floating around, so maybe there are some flowers that I can't see on the plants yet. I do want to give a special shout out to these cosmos, these Diablo cosmoses that are taking over my garden. They have volunteered all over the place, but I'm not mad about it. They are just absolutely gorgeous flowers, and I highly recommend them in your garden if you have space for it to spread. But you can easily pick it up. You can easily pull it up if you don't like it. Down here I have a bunch of what is this? The candelabra bush that I had last year. The seed pods fell, and I have a lot of these little volunteer plants alongside this eucalyptus that is really gorgeous. I need to actually get a stick to stake it up, but it is so pretty. I love this eucalyptus. I hope it gets a little bigger. I might come put some fish fertilizer on it actually. Let me pull these weeds up because something's trying to crawl up on it. But yeah, it's actually starting to branch out. Ignore all the weeds. It's just a mess in here. That's why I'm going to perennials, because I just want to be able to like not worry about all of this. Of course I also have to worry about weeds, but you know. Over on this part of the hill strip, I have some okra here that needs to be picked. And then I have some zinnias. I tried to put tomato cages around them because they were kind of flopping over, but they are escaping. I need to come and like tie them up so that they're not falling all over the place. But I'm curious to see how this will work as a kind of trellising feature. And then I have a couple of roses over here. I have a Coco Loco and then a mystery rose. I don't know what kind that is. And then some anise hyssop in the front, along with another okra. This bed needs to fill out a little bit. Again, it's been hot, and with the watering, it's looking a little sparse, but eventually as it cools down, it's gonna just like explode again. And then soon I'm gonna like spread a layer of compost around, and then we'll have all this together. Here we have this gorgeous fig tree which has grown immensely over the year, over this kind of spring and summer, and we still have some figs on here. Now the birds have not been eating the beautyberry, but they have been eating my figs. These little figs have been on here for a while. They aren't ripening. I think that's probably due to like the watering. But we did get some really good figs this year, so I'm not complaining about it at all. Eventually it'll catch up and do what it's supposed to do. But it's amazing just how big these figs can get in just a small amount of time. Over here I have another pepper and bean combo along with an eggplant that is not producing. It does have flowers on it, so I do have hope for an eggplant this year. I've grown eggplant 2 years and I have not gotten any eggplant in this particular garden, so maybe next year. It's not a huge problem because I don't really like eggplant. It's more so I'm growing it so I can try it and like try to make it in ways that I may like without having to spend money on buying eggplant at the grocery store and kind of wasting it. I also have three peppers in here. Well, two pepper varieties. This one is a Trinidadian something. It's like a seasoning pepper, so similar to the ají dulce. And there is a lot of fruit on here. Oh, I think I just pulled this one off. Dang it. There's fruit on here, there's flowers on here, and it's doing really well. These Lesa peppers have not been doing very well, not because of the plants, just because I had a lot of issues with leaf-footed bugs on these plants, and so they would come and pierce the fruit with their little mouth parts, and then it would create soft spots in the fruit, and then it would just rot on the vines. But I do have some in the back patio garden that are doing really well. Lots of fruit on it, lots of flowers that it's producing, and also on this Trinidadian pepper we have some fruit down here. It's supposed to turn red, so that's what I'm kind of waiting for. This plant is a little scraggly because it grew up in the shadows and now it's starting to actually like leaf out. And then you can see over here we have our eggplant flower. Over in the back here along the trellis we have the purple potted pole beans, and we do actually have beans on here, so I'm hoping that we get enough. I'm just gonna let them dry on the vines and then we will kind of see what we got and use it as a dried bean versus fresh, which is what I wanted to use it for, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough. But I may just kind of pop them in the freezer as they ripen. Here we have our first tithonia flower. You can kind of see it here. This is the biggest tithonia plant I have ever grown, and I think it's going to be so prolific. The butterflies absolutely love that plant, so if you need like a butterfly magnet in your garden, definitely plant tithonia. It's absolutely gorgeous with its flowers. It'll bring all the bees to your yard. Next to this tithonia is one of my sweet potato beds, and you can see it's kind of going crazy as sweet potatoes do. We have lots of flowers on here. I was reading online that it kind of doesn't affect production, but I am going to take these off just so it's not like trying to produce seeds. We have lots of flowers on here. And I also read that it may be due to stress, which is probably the watering issue, but I have hope that this will be a magnificent sweet potato harvest at some point. Now over here is my pride and joy. Look at these. So I'm 5'3", and these are my Benny seeds. So they probably got a foot on me in the bed, but they're still really tall. These are my Benny seeds, or my sesame seeds that I started earlier this summer, and they are just growing so beautifully. I have them staked up, but also kind of twined in so that they don't fall over when it rains, because I really, really want this harvest and I don't want anything to mess it up. You can see over here the little seed pods, so these are where the sesame seeds will come from. And then you can see the little bell-shaped flowers. There was a fat bumblebee in here the other day that was just crawling up in these flowers and just pollinating them. They have flowers similar to kind of snapdragon-y with this little like tongue right here. I wonder if they're related. Probably not, but yeah, these are the Benny seeds. They are growing really well. Now on to the bananas. These are very exciting because we actually have bananas coming on here. We have a rack. These are so cool. You can see, oh, there's one being pollinated right now. You can see a little wasp on there, on the flowers. So it's being pollinated. and we'll have bananas, hopefully. Last year our bananas got knocked off by the storm that we had, whatever, minor hurricane that we had. It knocked them down, and then we didn't get the bananas, unfortunately, but this year we getting bananas. So I'm going to, if we do get a storm or something, I'm just gonna harvest them early, and I think they'll ripen off of the tree. Over here is my other sweet potato bed, and also a place where there are peanuts. Something is eating my sweet potatoes. I'm curious. Oh, we got a little caterpillar in there. These are the little caterpillars that have been stinging the heck out of me all season. Anyway, I'll let it go since we have lots of foliage for it. But these are peanuts over here. I don't know. Oh, there's another one. I gotta get these caterpillars out of here. Anyway, so these peanuts are interplanted with these sweet potatoes. I don't know that that's like an ideal pairing because of how the peanuts have to be pollinated, but we'll see once I pull them up later. This pepper bed I've just kind of given up on. This is going to be my fall potato bed, so I'm just kind of like leaving it be for now until my potatoes are ready to go out. I'm chitting some in the windowsill right now. This part of the garden is an absolute mess, so just don't worry about it. I have some dying zinnias, and then I just planted a rose in here. And then I have this beautiful elderberry over here. This is not for me to make medicine, but it's more so for the birds and pollinators. I have these beautiful elder flowers, and then we do have some berries on here as well. But I think this is the perfect spot for it. It's gonna get big, and then it's gonna kind of, elderberry tends to like send runners. So hopefully this whole thing will just be an elderberry stand. And then it'll just be my set it and forget it beautiful space. One note about elderberry, I don't tend to talk about herbal medicine too much on here, but I did want to note that elderflower, since we just talked about it, is one of my favorites for seasonal allergies. So I like to use a blend of elderflower and goldenrod in the spring, and I just take that every day for my seasonal allergies, and that works like a gym, along with staying hydrated. I find that really affects my ability to be allergy free. Of course, always talk to your doctor before implementing anything into your regimen, before ingesting something. Do your own research on this. That's not medical advice. That's not me telling you to go do it. That's me telling you what I do. Always, rely on your doctor for advice on your medical situation and not a girl on the internet. Now on to my patio garden. So this is my container garden back here that I will soon be putting drip irrigation in. Hopefully my stuff gets here soon. So I just have like a bunch of roses. I have 3 roses, and then I have a Eureka lime tree, and then a little fig tree behind that one, and a blueberry right here. That is the fig tree. And then we have some potted rosemary here that needs to be kind of cut back, but it's doing okay. And then my Cherokee purple that I just planted. I have this rose over here that I moved from my big garden bed that is doing so much better since I put it in this bag. And even like this bag has been really great. These bags, I'm gonna order some more. These are the Epic Gardening like fabric line bags, and they have been a game changer for my container garden. I think because my container garden is on concrete, and concrete gets so hot, it's really hard to keep those like black bags that I have watered well enough. But with the fabric line bags, they just capture and hold water so much better in my experience. I highly recommend them, and I'm going to be replacing all my regular bags with the fabric line bags. They are more expensive, but they're totally worth it in my opinion, and I'm hoping that they last a really long time. So on to the rest of the garden. Right here I just planted these Persian muncher cucumbers. I did start some inside, but I wanted to just go ahead and direct sow one and see how it would grow, and it is growing well. I have this tomato cage for it. Very excited about this. This lemongrass is not doing the best, but it's trying. I think I'm gonna come in here and just like take all this like crap out of it and just kind of clean it up a little bit so it can be nice and start thriving again, because we've been using a lot of lemongrass And the lemongrass at the farm is really beautiful, so I'm trying to get this one to be similar. Nothing in this bag. I had a cucumber in there, but I took that out. Ignore this pillow that's busted open. We have some thyme in a little pot here. And then this is my Tropic Beauty peach tree. This produced some beautiful peaches in the spring, and it's flowering again, which is interesting. So we have some more flowers, and then I even have a little peach booty on here. So I'm curious to see if it's gonna produce this summer. I'm gonna put some compost on it and see how it performs. Up here, this is just my little herb container garden, so the ones that I cook with the most. I have some bay leaves here, which needs a new pot. Cayenne pepper, which is, this is a 2-year-old plant. I actually overwintered this in the house, and we've been getting peppers on it, and it's producing flowers. And I think we can probably push it out another year. I'm gonna see how it goes. I just treat it like a house plant inside. I don't do all the like taking it out and chopping the branches off. I literally just treat it like a house plant and water it. And it has been alive and produced fruit this year. But back to the herbs. This is Mexican oregano, which I use a lot. This and cilantro and some black beans, so good. And I have my little basil over here, then some sage and some struggling parsley. I'm starting parsley inside, so I'll probably pull that out. And then this here and this here are just some Gerbera daisies that I have there. They're not producing any flowers anymore, but I think they may in the fall. This is my other peach tree. That is beautiful. A friend of mine recently made some peach leaf tea, and she said it was really good, so I'm hoping to try that very soon so I can see. Peach leaf is medicinal. Again, not advice. Do your own research and have fun. Blueberries are still doing good. This one was struggling a lot earlier this year, but now it is doing really, really well. And I'm hoping that I can just take care of them enough to get a prolific amount of blueberries off of them this year. Have some yarrow in here, more peppers. I think I actually have a pepper that needs to be harvested over here, which you can see some of those, like, I think, let's see, something's been eating it. Clearly I should have harvested it when I first saw it, but I left it on there. So this is the Lesa pepper also, so that's gonna go in the compost. Put that in there later. Then back here, more roses, and then another melon. I don't know what kind of melon that is, but this is the Moon and Stars melon that I planted when I planted the beans, I think. Again, I wasn't watering this, so it had a delayed start, but now it is thriving. I put compost in it and then some earth tone, and it's doing really well. Hopefully we get a melon soon. More peppers that they were all producing like little tiny fruits, so I came through and like took them off all of the plants and composted them, and then now I just am trying to just like bring them back to life. So this one was really like yellow, but now it's starting to get green again, and it looks beautiful. My jalapeno, this thing has been a lifesaver. I didn't realize how much we used jalapenos, but it's so nice being able to come out and get one. I only need one plant, but we've been getting jalapenos off of it. It has a lot of flowers on it. The jalapenos have been bigger than this, let me be clear. But yeah, it is producing some fruit and lots of flowers, so we should have another flush coming. This is a volunteer papaya. Don't ask me how this happened, I don't know. But it is sharing a pot with this eucalyptus. I'm gonna take it out. I'm kind of like done with papayas right now because I haven't had a great experience with them getting to ripen, which has been frustrating. And I know you can use green papayas, but I don't want to. I want my, even though I love papaya salad, I want my ripe papayas. And also this one's just a little bit late. If I had it earlier in the season, which I might actually just put this in a pot and bring it in the house and overwinter it and bring it outside in the spring. That's actually a good idea. Over here, oh, we have a little rose. Beautiful little rose. This is Louise Clemens. Oh, there we go. There it is. It smells super good, but I'm just gonna throw it back here. This bed is empty. I had some tomatoes in here and I pulled them out. I don't know what I'm gonna replace this with. Probably cauliflower or broccoli. The oregano looks really good, and I'm probably going to pick some and put it in the dehydrator. Oh, we have some little flowers. I've never seen oregano flower. Really pretty. Also use a lot of that. And then over here, another Gerbera daisy and a bunch of peppers. I don't know why I have so many peppers, but I just saw a little bell pepper on here. So these were like the fruits I was taking off yesterday. They were just really small, but I'm gonna leave this one on here because it's cute and it might grow bigger. So I think all of these are bell peppers. This might be a Lesa pepper, but that's a bell pepper, obviously. And then these are 2 yellow bell peppers in the same pot, which I probably wouldn't do again. I just do one plant. Back here are my roses. These have been producing. This is Grand Dame, and she looks really good. And then we have, I don't know what this one is, and I'm not about to reach back there and grab the tag, but this is Dark Night. This is my beauty plum tree. And over here we have a bunch of lemon balms. A bunch of lemon balm. And then we have some lemon verbena, which I need to dry. This smells so good. That smells really freaking good, the lemon verbena. And then over here is my mint bed that is not taking off, and I don't know why. Everyone's always talking about how mint is just so prolific. You plant it and then it will go crazy, and I'm like, y'all, how do I make it go crazy? It's not going crazy. So we have a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Like, I want it to take off. I want it to have all this space, but it is just not doing what I want it to do. Right here I have a dahlia, and I'm curious to see how that goes. I planted another one over here that needs to sprout. All right, let's take a look at the compost. This is our active bin right here. We just put a bunch of stuff in it. Normally there's a bunch of like black fly larvae in there, but that has been good. Let's take a look at this one. We have some compost. I've been sifting this and putting it out. It's pretty much done. There's a lot of wood chunks in there, so the chunks I just put, like the wood chips, I just put in here. And then let's take a look at this one over here. This one's cooking, still doing well. I'd be curious to see what's underneath it. When I built this structure, I didn't take into account like the lid widths, so it's like a game of Jenga trying to get them to like fit and stuff. But let's see. Let me get a shovel. Yeah, this one looks pretty good too. It's crazy, it was all just freaking. So that's what this one's looking like. This was all just, compost is crazy to me. This was all food just months ago. And yeah, it's not completely broken down. You can still see a lot of like bones and stuff like that. We do put meat bones in our compost. We haven't had any issues with the rodents since we got the aluminum trash cans, but that eventually like breaks down too. And you have, you know, free bone meal. But that's the compost. And then I want to show you guys the back garden. I feel like I never show you guys this garden. So over here I have a curry tree. Petite something fig. I need to put it in the sun, but it's doing pretty well. I also need to get it out of this pot and into a new pot. And then I have 2 pear trees over here that we actually did get 2 pears off of this year. Then further back, this is a coral hibiscus, not a coral hibiscus, a coral honeysuckle, which we need to get out of this pot and into another pot. And then I have my plumerias, which I've had for years. We have to bring these inside during the winter, but I've had these plumerias for such a long time. And then this is an apple banana tree. And I also have another apple banana tree. Back there is maypop or passion flower. This is the native maypop that you use for teas. So that's what it looks like. We got fruit off of this last year actually, and it's actually really good. I'm gonna take this off. So yeah, I'm trying to get it back on this trellis. We have these caterpillars, the gold fritillaries, that love this plant. So they've been eating it down to the ground constantly, but now it's actually growing. And so I'm trying to get it on this trellis. Over here I have another plumeria. My plumerias are my children, my pride and joy. I love them. We did get some plumeria flowers this year and they were beautiful and fragrant. Excuse the train noise. I'm gonna try to record over it, but right here I have a persimmon tree. This is a Fuyu persimmon. Yeah, that's the Fuyu persimmon, and which I think has the more firm fruit that you eat it when it's more firm. This is a red lady, I think lady in red rose. Then I have my Macroot lime, which we use in like Thai cooking. This is an angel face rose, and then we have a, what is that? Violet's Pride rose. I had a dahlia in here, but it died because I didn't take care of it. And then this is a Pichaya persimmon, which has not leafed out yet. I think it's because I didn't have it in the sun, but I'm hoping that it does leaf out. When I scratch the bark, it's still green inside. Let's make sure that it's still, yeah, so it's still green inside. So it's still alive. I'm just waiting for it to produce some leaves and photosynthesize. So that is the back garden. I don't show that often because it's not very exciting, I guess. Maybe when it starts to bloom, and we're still kind of getting that area together. So I'm not really keen on showing it, but I wanted to show you guys the maypop since I'm talking about herbs today. So now I'm gonna show you my seedling station and then we will sign off. Okay, so this is my seedling setup. I just have some shop lights from Lowe's and then a shelving unit from Home Depot. And that's what it looks like. So I have a bunch of different plants in here, but I'll let you see kind of what we got going on. Lots of birthdays. Alright guys, that is the August garden. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching this video. Tell me down below what you're excited about for fall. What seeds are you starting right now, and how's the weather where you are? I'm very curious if you are experiencing those cold temps while we're still down here sweating. So comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.